YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another Yeti Plays video, another YouTube video on the Yeti Plays channel. I don't know how to introduce these videos. I don't know what it is. I'm used to sitting in front of the camera on the Yetiness videos. I'm used to sitting here for the Yeti Plays videos. Something about putting a webcam here is unnatural. It throws me off. It throws me off my balance. It throws my mojo off. I don't really know. It's a weird one to me. It's a weird one to adjust to, but we're doing a personality quiz today. We're doing the hashtag deep donkey. That was hashtag deep by Bo Burnham. We're doing a little deep mind, Reese mind personality quiz today. Hopefully, I don't know, getting to know Reese a little bit, or I don't know. I just thought it would be interesting. I thought the Myers-Briggs one wouldn't take 80 million years to complete, so I don't know how long this one's going to take to complete because it's about twice as long. But knowing how long the Myers-Briggs one took, I'm going to try and go a little bit quicker with this one. And I thought I'd put the webcam on because it's a little bit more personal. It may freeze at some point, in which case I may end up just turning it off. But for now, also I talked about maybe including it in chess videos. I think with the way it looks, I'm probably just going to not be doing that. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know if it's the quality or the distance. I feel like it makes me. I have a baby face, and I hate it. But I feel like I just look so young, like even younger than normal. I don't like the way I look in the webcam. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't look like the way I look in Yeti videos, but the webcam, I'm not a fan of it. I don't know if it's the angle because I'm like above it, so I'm looking past it and kind of instead of at it on like a good level. So when people take selfies, they say you're supposed to take it like high, right? That's like the angle, or at least straight. You should never take them from below. That's like the #1 rule. Never take a selfie from below. And my camera sits below, looking up at me, which is not good. And you can see my sock mic that Maria's always vehemently, just viciously bullying me for. We're gonna do a personality quiz. Let's pivot to whichever scene it is that has the capture. Nope, not that one. We are switching games. Nope. Hey, look at all these sick graphics that I never got to use because my PC can't stream. Nope, none of these. Which one is it? Oh, it's Gungeon. Of course it's called Gungeon. Okay. So we have this 123test.com personality test. I don't know if there's any merit to this whatsoever. The only reason I'm doing it is just because this is the one that NL did on his stream and had he had a good time doing one. Oh, there's a young personality test. I like young. I'm not going to do this. I might do this in my spare time. Ooh, I might do this one in my spare time. I like Jung. I think he was a smart guy. A lot of people compare Jung and Freud. I think Jung was actually, no, we don't need to go into that now. And also, I don't know why people compare them because Freud was a lot more sexual than Jung. I'm a Jung guy though. And I like Tool has some music about it. Look, this is just the one that NL did on his stream. List of professions: fireman, doctor, teacher. Oh, these are the only jobs available? No wonder I can't find one. Dude, pay attention. We're going to be here forever. No, not this. NL did it on stream and he had a good time with it. I had a good time listening to him do it whilst I was doing whatever else I was doing. Let's do it. Let's head in. So we have strongly disagree. So it's basically a Likert scale. Strongly disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree. Let's get a little bit cozy. There'll be a link in the description to it if anyone else wants to do this one, but I already linked the Myers-Briggs one, and look, it is long. So if you want to do it, I don't even know what this tells you. Obviously, the Myers-Briggs, you get like your score at the end, your letters. I don't even know what this gives you. I just thought it'd be fun as like a discussionary thing to just have a little bit of a chat. That said, I genuinely didn't expect to spend as much time as I did on the Myers-Briggs. I also, forewarning, I overshare. I definitely have a habit of oversharing. I think in this one I'm going to try and not get too like real on the negative aspects of my personality or my insecurities or those sorts of things because I feel like I don't necessarily want to go into those in a video. I also definitely talked in the last one way too much about you know who. So I want to try and avoid that one a little bit too much. But anyway, let's go. I'm a warrior. Gonna hit you with a small plus on that one. I feel like that's pretty straightforward. I feel like, you know, I've had anxiety in the past. I've had therapy for it and stuff, and I feel like definitely pre all of that, absolutely here. I would say this. There's a lot of situations that would potentially be stressful. I think a lot of the time I'm quite quite a breezy person, quite a relaxed person. I try and be, if it's a stressful situation, I try and be the relaxed person, or help other people or that sort of thing. But definitely, I would say that I worry. I don't even know if it's more than average. I feel like a lot of people worry about a lot of things. I would say, but I'm gonna hit you with my heart feels a minor plus on that one. I make friends easily. I would say, very contextually, it really depends. And maybe the Myers-Briggs results gives a little bit of like an insight as to where I may even go on these questions before I do them. I would hit you with a weak minus. Only because, well, I don't know, because I feel like I don't seek friends. I'm not someone who's ever really actively sought to make more friends. All my friends I've kind of become friends with, I kind of have always they've always just kind of happened. I've always just kind of come across people and then ended up, if it's someone who's gone on to become a good friend, it's just someone who I've met through whatever circumstances. We've been put together. Like my best mate from uni, for example, we just got put together in a group project. I was wearing a Prime hoodie, which is a rap duo. It's DJ Premier and Royster 59, and he was a hip hop fan, and he was like, "Oh shit, Prime is in like Royce," and then we started talking about Prime, and then we just kind of connected that way, and then we just stayed. We just kept talking to each other and stayed friends. Or you meet someone on the internet via mutual interest. Like I tend to meet people circumstantially, and then if they're gonna be a good friend, I just kind of, it just happens. I just gravitate towards them. I just keep talking to him. So I wouldn't say that I ever strive or seek to make more friends, but I've never really had a problem making friends because they just kind of happen, I would say. So I'm gonna hit you with a mild minus, and I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna hold it in. I have a vivid imagination. We talked about this element in the Myers-Briggs things enough that I can just hit you with a plus plus. I can hit you with the plus plus on that one. Don't say a name, don't say a name, don't say a name. I trust others. Once I reach a point with an individual that I trust him, I know I can trust him. I trust my family members. I would say, it's not a big number, I would say probably maybe like a handful, maybe like 4 or 5 like IRL friends that I would say that I fully trust. So it's only a small number, and then maybe like 4 people like online that I would say that I kind of fully trust with like whatever, my innermost thoughts, or like whatever, like, with my life or anything like that. So I'd say probably in terms of friends, family is its own thing. I'd say in terms of like friends or people that I really trust, it's probably less than 10. I have the capacity to trust others. It takes a little. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a very trusting individual. Like initially, I've had things in my life that have given me reason to sort of break that down a little bit. I can get there. I think this is a bit pessimistic to put this. It's got to be the right people. Straight up, it's got to be the right people. And as I'm answering this, the names are in my head. I know who I can trust. I know who the right people are, but it's got to get to that point for sure. It needs to build that. I'm gonna hit you with a neutral on that one. I complete tasks successfully. I'm not a great task doer. If you've ever played Among Us with me, and then there you go. NL made the same joke because he loves tasks in Among Us. I am usually the one getting yelled at. Ghosts! Who hasn't done their tasks? Sometimes I'm not even a ghost. Sometimes I'm still alive and I haven't done him. IRL, look, I need to find motivation. I lose motivation easily. I'm a big procrastinator. I'm going to hit you with a mild minus on that one. Any future potential future employers watching this, for legal reasons, this is a joke. I get angry easily. Absolutely not. I hate anger. I hate being angry. I do think you need to kind of have like a bit of a balance of like all the emotions, and you have to experience everything. Sometimes, dude, I hate anger. I hate being angry. I'm very, very, very rarely angry. If I'm ever even like tilted, even then it will last for 5 minutes, and then I feel bad about it. I hate being angry. I really enjoy large parties and gatherings. In doses. I like parties. I like going to parties, especially if it's a friend that's hosting the party. We talked about this in the Myers-Briggs a little bit. I am not a large party person. I'm a mild social creature. I've become a mild social creature over the past couple of years. Previously, a couple of years ago, yeet. Now, I'd say I very quickly thrust myself into it and worked up the ladder to be a much more social individual than I was previously. I wouldn't say I really enjoy. I say I do enjoy them. I do enjoy them. I enjoy them when they if I'm in the right mood. But I wouldn't say that I always really enjoy them. I think art is important. Yes, absolutely. I'm a creative individual. I think even I think music for one is incredibly important for so many reasons. For mood and for mental health and for just like keeping your sanity and for letting your hair down and for de-stressing. There are so many reasons why music's important. For expressing yourself, I'm talking from listening to it, but from creating it as well, from expressing yourself. I will never ever shut up about how important. What do you guys call them? Secondary subjects? Is that what Maria usually calls them? I learned that term from Maria. We don't use that term over here, but how important the creative subjects are for children is so unbelievably important, and they don't get the recognition or the funding, in my opinion, that they need. But no teachers do. I feel very strongly that teachers need to make more money for one, get more funding like within their job for for two, and it's definitely it's a personal dream of mine. I don't think I'm probably never going to be rich. If I ever am rich, it's like it's like a bucket list, far and away dream of mine to try and set up a charity of some sort. I really want to do something. I want to make an app. Don't steal this idea. I've had this. It's called Talk Tonight, and when I want to, I'm not even going to go. I'm not going to go into the detail, but essentially, it's just something. If you need someone to talk to, it's just kind of like you go on, you need someone to talk to. It just connects you with a random other person who also feels like talking. You just have a chat. It's just like a really simple messaging app, but the purpose is if you're feeling a little bit lonely, or you just want someone to talk to. It's like Omegle, but more wholesome. But we won't go into that too much. But my dream in terms of a charity, I really want to set up some sort of teacher support thing. We don't really have anything like that over here in terms of like giving counselling for teachers or just providing someone to talk to for teachers. Or on the financial front, maybe, trying to provide financial support, making donations to schools and stuff. That's like a far and away dream of mine. If I ever somehow become rich, that would be a dream of mine to set up some sort of teacher support charity. That was such a big digression. I think art's important. I think expression's important. I think people see things and people get things out of it. Enough people get things out of it. I don't want to go into the art discussion too much because if I really want to get deep into it, I could sit here talking an hour about art. Would I argue that it's been struggling a little bit, that it's been dying a little bit, that money has potentially had some sort of negative influence on the art world? Potentially. But we don't need to worry about that too much. I use and manipulate others to get my own way. No, and fuck you if you do. I don't like things to be a mess. I do like to tidy up. Unfortunately, I have to hit this just because of my room being so small. I literally have no choice but for it to be a mess. Essentially, as soon as I move out and I have my own flat, it's gonna be clean as a whistle all the time. I definitely am a tidy individual for the most part, but for now I can't. I often feel sad. I'd like to take charge of situations and events. Contextually, it depends. I'm happy to know my role. If someone else is in charge, I'll do what I've got to do to help. I'll do what I've got to do to help. In group work context in uni, more often than not, I found myself being the individual that was pushing the train along a little bit. I think it depends. If a situation warrants for it, dude, I'm right in there. But if there is a leader, or if I'm not, I know my role as well, so I'll fit in as I need to. I experience deep and varied emotions. That's what we're here for, baby. I love to help others. So, yes, because literally I want to do therapy as a career or teaching as a career. Both of my I've talked about it a little bit in videos, not so much in videos. It's more something I've talked about with people. But in videos, a little bit I've talked about those two career paths. What I'm torn between, what I'm figuring out. both of them I want to do because of like the I want to have made a difference in the world, and I want to make a positive impact in the world. I think there's and I've talked about it a little bit. I've talked about it's like a stoic practice. I've talked about they preach it quite a lot. It's quite something they teach quite strongly in Buddhism. It's something they teach quite strongly in Catholicism. In that sort of working to put good out into the world and to do good for the world is why I want to do either therapy or teaching. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to help people, or I want to like help kids with their future and setting them and teaching them, setting them on the right path. Another reason why I think teachers are very underappreciated. So I feel naturally like I do this. That said, it's not like in my day-to-day life I'm constantly doing like, hey, what can I do to help? What can I do to help? No, I feel like I have to, and definitely friends and people who are important to me. If you ever need me for anything, any second of the day, just I'm gonna hit you with a double plus. I keep my promises. I would rather a promise. Absolutely. Did I or did I not get the blue Sealy? No, that was a promise to Spink, who obviously I would absolutely never break a promise to her specifically. But I would like to say that I also would probably never break a promise to anyone. I find it difficult to approach others. Hey, how long did I last? 16 minutes. That's probably a new Yeti Plays record without mentioning. I find it difficult to approach others. Yeah, previously for sure. There's a lot. I feel like I've mentioned this a lot as I've been going through various questions. There've definitely been a lot where I was like, hey, 2 or 3 years ago, here, now we're here. So there's definitely been a lot of. I think I've grown a lot as a person in the past couple of years. Obviously, there was therapy that helped out a lot. For like I had like 6 months. So obviously that you would like to hope made a difference. I think it depends on the context. I don't know. I don't have the need to approach others very often, and especially thinking in like a right now sort of situation. Like the past cause of COVID and stuff. Like when have I in recent memory had to or even been able to approach literally anyone? I think I'm relatively okay if I need to. I am always busy, always on the go. I don't really move. I prefer variety to routine. If anyone read that question before I answered it, I'm sure you saw the double negative coming on that one immediately. They changed my notes app. Actually, I won't show it because I don't know what my notes are. They changed the notes app today. It's the Samsung Notes app, which is going to annoy me anyway because I opened it and they've changed like the layout slightly. I hate it. I'm so mad. But this will annoy anyone. I go to open a note, to edit it, and it's like, hey, if you want to use this note, you've got to convert it to the new format that we have now. I have so many notes. Oh my god, I have so many notes. Let me see what it says. Install Samsung Notes add-on ? To view this note, you need to install the Samsung Notes add-on. Convert this note ? To edit this note, you need to convert it to the latest format. After it's converted, this note won't open in the same folder. Oh, won't open in some older version of Samsung Note. So I need to download some add-ons and convert. I have 2,497 notes. You're going to make me convert those? 2,497 notes. That's ridiculous. Why would you mess with a notes app? It's a notes app. It's fine. Anyway, I don't like variety. No, actually, to be fair, I like variety. I've just mentioned in Isaac a lot that I'm a big routine person. I love a good argument, a good fight. Nope. I like with friendly intentions. I like an argument, quote unquote, between friends. But I don't like. I think if you a fight, I don't see the. I don't think people get stuff out of that very often. Although again, if you're an individual who has conversed with me to any sort of regular degree, you probably know how I can be. Immediately, the Secret Santa stuff is coming to mind. With Maria, I had a good time with that. Let me tell you. I don't know if Maria had a good time with it. I was thriving on that argument, which I won. But no, an actual like anger. So between friends, where it's like not a serious thing or there's no serious implications, and it's all like it's all positive or in good fun or whatever. Yeah, dude, I'm fine with that. Just gonna hit you with a neutral on this one. Although my New Year's resolution, hopefully by the end of the year, will be slamming a double plus on that one. I overindulge and go on binges. Yeah, I think everyone does Sometimes, right? I think everyone does. I love excitement. I mean, I don't know. It's not really a sentence that I've ever like considered or thought, or like a sentiment that's ever like actively floated through my mind. But I'm not like, hey, alternatively, I love being bored. So I guess I'll hit you with a simple plus on that one. I enjoy reading challenging books and articles. So I read a lot of articles because of uni. I definitely reading articles was one of my favorite things and also least favorite things, like at the same time, about doing uni assignments. The right article hooks me in the right way and interests me the right way. I'm all for it. A snoozer article, or like a really lengthy, detailed one that has all sorts of like crazy like terms you've never heard of that you need to like figure out, and like all sorts of like numbers, and like the data's, the results part of the report is like 3 pages long, i.e. challenging. No, I hate it. I hate them. I hate them so much. And I never want to read another one in my life if I can avoid it. Books, on the other hand, yeah, I think I'm still more of a casual reader. I have some challenging books, quote unquote, lined up. Potentially, I want to do Nietzsche at some point and haven't quite braved it just yet. I want to do Crime and Punishment, which is not necessarily challenging in terms of understanding, but just challenging in terms of how fucking long it is. I want to do Atlas Shrugged at some point, but I know they're going to be difficult. So I'm going to hit you with a mild minus just based on articles, just because I haven't really got to the challenging books yet that I would like to read. I believe that I am better than others. I'm just going to hit you with a double minus and move on. I am always prepared. Just going to hit you with a single minus and move on. I panic easily. I'm going to hit you with a neutral. I think sometimes there's some stuff that will get to me more than it needs to, where I'm like, oh shit, dude. And then I start panicking, so on, I think it was Friday night, I had a conversation with the Jacob, with Not So Livid. There was some stuff going on that got me worried, and then I was in my head, and I was like, this isn't even that big of a deal, and I'm panicking over it. And then literally by like Sunday or by yesterday, I'm like, it's actually just like fine, chill. And now I'm like looking back at what I was worrying about on Friday, and I won't go into specific details of what it was, but what I was worrying about on Friday, I'm like, yeah, I don't know why I was so worried about that specifically. It just kind of, so I know that some stuff can make me panic, but then at the same time, stuff can be going horribly wrong, and I'm like not even stressing it. So I'm gonna hit you with a neutral, just because I really can. Some stuff can make me panic really easily, but on the complete opposite end, some stuff that should make me panic doesn't really get to me at all, I think. So I'm just gonna hit you with a neutral, just 'cause I don't really know where to go for that. I'm a really cheerful person. This is a very difficult. I would be interested to know what other people think I should put for this one, because I try to be an optimist. In social situations, I try and be I try and help, make people happy and bring people's moods up, and if I can crack a joke, or if I can like make people laugh, I try and be the bubbly one, right, in social situations. As I was saying in the Monday one, in like group context, I never shut up and stuff. Like I try and have that output, but at the same time, I think I do think my personality is like kind of flat, right? I don't know if it's like just the way I kind of talk, or like my inflection, or like as in it like inside myself. I don't know. I try, and I know it says I am a really cheerful person, so I'm gonna hit you with a single plus just because I try to be. But I don't think I could, in good faith, hit the double plus, because I don't think I would necessarily agree that I always am. Although it's hard, because a lot of these are blanket statements, and you can't really say that you always are anything. So it's a little bit tricky. I tend to support political candidates who favour progress and reform. I'm not smart enough to process really that. So that's like left-leaning, like liberal, right? Is that, yeah? I want to be. Let me just make sure I'm thinking of the right thing here. Like progress is in like a progressive candidate, right? In which case, yes. What? Okay, what? Okay, let me just. I didn't know this was going to be political. So in terms of, progressivism is a political philosophy in front of a movement that identifies a social that aims to represent the interests of ordinary people through political change and the support of government actions. Okay, so yeah, so Labour. Okay, fine, yeah, absolutely then. Fuck the Tories. So yeah, okay, that's easier than I thought. I just wanted to make sure. I don't really do politics talk too much because I worry I'm gonna get in trouble. I had to backspace a tweet the other day about a particular political individual because I was like, hey, if people read this, they're gonna be mad at me. You're not allowed to be negative about Biden. I sympathise with the homeless. Yeah. Oh, obviously. I feel like if you don't, you're a piece of shit, right? I feel like that's. Do I need to explain that one? It's such a shitty situation to be in, and it's such a relentlessly difficult situation to try and get out of. And we have a lot of homelessness. We have a big homelessness issue in Manchester. Obviously, I sympathise with the homeless. I'm very spontaneous. I act without thinking. I'm very spontaneous. I don't know. 50-50. I act without thinking, though. With a double plus on acting without thinking. I fear for the worst. So NL made a great point on this one. Does everyone not fear for the worst? If someone was like, hey, like maybe there'll be a massive tsunami that will destroy your city. That's the worst. Yeah, that's pretty scary. Hey, you might get like stabbed in the street tomorrow. That'd be probably the worst thing that could happen to me tomorrow if I went for a walk. Yeah, obviously I would be scared of that, but then I feel like am I constantly in fear that I'm going to be stabbed? And to be fair, there's been stabbings on my street, there's been stabbing on the street over, and there was a stabbing behind the supermarket I go to get my food. So I guess potentially I'm like always consciously aware for it, but then like do I always fear the worst? I don't know, man. I guess I'm just gonna hit with a neutral because I don't really know about that one. I feel comfortable around people. It's such like there's so many. There's too contextual, man. I'm gonna hit you with a. It so depends. It so depends. In a group, a small group, fine. Probably a party. Do I feel comfortable? It depends what party it is and how many of the people I know and who I'm with and like whereabouts I'm situated. But then at the same time, like people hate speeches. I always loved doing presentations in uni because, first of all, because I think I'm good at it, and like it was like the only type of assignment that I would consistently get top marks on. But people hate presentations, but I could go up in front of what was probably the most. We never had to do big presentations. The most I ever had to present in front of was probably only like 200 or 300, I'd say. So it was never really like big presentations or anything like that. But I love it, dude. I thrive on it. So like in front of people, around people, yeah, I guess I could probably put this. But as far as like friendships, I have to grow more comfortable. If I become friends with someone, I grow more comfortable with time. I'm not immediately as comfortable as I could be in terms of being myself. But again, I think that's normal. I think everyone is like, no one's ever just like themselves when they first kind of meet someone or become friends with someone, and then as you get more comfortable with them, yeah, I'll hit you with a single plus on that one. I enjoy wild flights of fantasy. I don't know 100% what that means, but again, I think if that's like daydreaming and stuff, that's a pretty safe plus plus. I believe that people basically have good intentions. What? So basically is in like deep with inside at foundation level, every individual starts with good intentions? I don't know what that means. Do I believe that every individual? I believe that people basically have good intentions. No. No. No, I'm just gonna say no. When I do something, I always do it well. I get irritated easily. Not really. I always chat to lots of different people at parties. No, I tend to, again, I don't mind floating a little bit. And if it happens, I'm fine with it. And I don't mind ending up in conversations with people that I've never spoken to before. And I'll chat, no problem. And I'm fine with meeting new people. But I do tend to gravitate to like if I go with one person, maybe I'll go a bit more, but if there's like a group I know, I tend to sort of stick within the group, I'd say. Okay, 38 questions. How are we doing number? So the Myers-Briggs took 40 minutes. Oh god. Oh god, we're going to be here forever. I see beauty in things that others might not notice. I would say agree. I don't mind cheating to get ahead. Look, from my perspective, it's not something that I would do. Now, and this is interesting because I kind of feel like, I don't even know, it's almost even parts not wanting to cheat because of the moral implications, equal parts with I would not want to cheat because I would not want to get caught. Like, I wouldn't cheat in a test in school, for example, probably partially because it would be wrong, but probably equally because I would fear the consequences of getting caught as much as I would be against the implications of cheating. So I guess there's that in terms of in life. Yeah, not really. I like to think my moral compass is pretty well set that I wouldn't be about this. That said, there are potentially some people watching this video. If you've ever played Among Us with me, the word teaming comes to mind. Or if you've ever played Codenames with me, or if you've ever played Secret Hitler with me. And again, basically, if you've ever played any friendly competitive game, because I never cheat in something like Siege or whatever, because that's stupid and I hate it. If you ever played any sort of friendly competitive game with me and also Spink, because I would never cheat for my own benefits in a game like that. However, I do have a little bit of a habit of, I believe they call it third impostering, third imping. So I know there may be. I know. Look, if Maria heard me answer this question, if she was like, "Okay, I'm trying to picture the scenario." If Maria heard me read this out, I don't mind cheating to get ahead, and then I went, "No, dude, I would never. Double minus." I think she'd probably roll her eyes. For Maria, I'm gonna pivot that to a single minus. And then we're going to move on. I often forget to put things back in their proper place. I don't think really things really have a proper place for me right now at this point. It depends on the day, man. I'm going to hit you with a neutral on this one because generally speaking, I think I'm kind of fine. I think I could like myself more, but I could dislike myself more, so I'll just be neutral and move on. I try to be in charge. Okay, we've kind of been through this one. If the context requires it, I will. We did this one on the Myers-Briggs. I try my best. I truly try my best to help people if the situation requires it, to be empathetic, to try and understand people's emotions so that I can help as much as possible. And again, with the career path I want to go down, you kind of have to. I'm concerned about others, absolutely, especially people I care about. I tell the truth. I mean, yeah, like I try to. I'm always trying. I try to. So I don't see why that would be anything but a double plus. I'm afraid to draw attention to myself. I wouldn't say afraid. I wouldn't say it's like a fear or something that I'm like regularly, consistently conscious of. How many questions is this, man? 120. Okay, let's keep the ball rolling here. Definitely, if I'm out in public, I'm someone who is like afraid of doing something that like would embarrass myself. You know what I mean? Like if it's icy, like a couple of weeks ago, it snowed for a little bit and the snow melted very quickly, but it stayed cold, so it turned to ice. I'm like super conscious of like I can't slip, even if there's no one around, because what if someone's in the house and they see me slip? That's embarrassing, dude. So I guess in that sense, I'll hit you with a small plus. I never sit still. I'm always on the go. Nah. I move a little bit. I can sit still for a long amount of time, I'm going to be honest. I prefer to stick with things that I know. That's absolutely true. If you've heard me talk about routine and stuff and how upset I get when like a website changes the font of a button. Dude, yeah, I hate it. I'm going to sue. I shout and yell at people. I do more than what's expected of me. I would say that the majority of the time, I probably do about exactly what is expected of me. Sometimes, potentially, even a little bit less. I think it depends on what the person, like, again, so much of it's contextual. It depends on what the situation is, the activity is, what the person doing the expecting does expect. I would say I probably do about what's expected. I rarely go above and beyond because I usually get hit with the self-doubt before I reach that point. I rarely overindulge, similar to the binging one. Could hit you with a. Occasionally. I go out of my way to seek adventure. Not really, but then it's hard to right now. I avoid philosophical discussions. No, absolutely not. I think highly of myself. No, absolutely not. I get the job done and carry out my plans. No, absolutely not. I become overwhelmed by events. So much of this is just so contextual, man. There's stuff that can, like, pile on and I'm just fine with it. But then again, some stuff, Friday in particular, was because of a lot of things that was going on at once that I would say that overwhelmed is probably a good word. It depends on the events. I would say that that was what happened. So I would say that I do sometimes become overwhelmed by events. I have a lot of fun. Yeah, I try to. I mean, like, what am I doing with this channel right now? I'm answering I don't know what I'm yeah, I try to. I believe there is no absolute right or wrong. Yes, there are things that are absolutely right and absolutely wrong within all contexts. For example, rape. You should never rape someone. I believe that is an absolute wrong, and if you do it, you're a piece of shit. Period. That's easy. You can say that, no problem. There are definitely things, and like, what example would I wanna give here? I don't even know if I can think of an example, let alone what would be a good example. Let me just check, because I think the sun's like mostly gone here, so I don't know how lighting looks. It's not too bad. Is it snowing a little bit? No, I'm insane. Don't worry about it. I'm a little bit insane. I'm just a little bit insane. I would say that, no, close this. What are you doing? Like, I'm trying to think of an example to give where I could be like, hey, sometimes this happens. Okay, so the lying question came up. Sometimes, I think you probably shouldn't lie. Lying is seen as a bad thing, but I think most people would agree that sometimes you can lie for good reasons, to protect someone's feelings, for example. And again, even that, if you want to go a little bit deeper, should you even do that? Like, I know that I would probably rather not, as much as I'm quite an emotional individual, I would probably rather not be lied to protect my feelings. If there was a situation where someone was like, hey, something's going on, if I tell Reese, he's gonna be like sad about it, I'd rather know and just like deal with it. So I would rather someone didn't lie to me to protect my feelings, even if it's gonna really upset me. I'd definitely rather just know, like, whatever it is, regardless of the context. I'd rather just know. But there are some situations where I think that you could do that. There are probably other things. I mean, like, you can go really deep with it. How were the A bombs that ended World War II? Okay, for the greater good, it ended World War II. Was that wrong? Yes, I would probably say, because so many innocent people died because of that. I don't want to have that discussion right now, but you know what I mean. I'd say, this is why I didn't want to say it, because I feel like I was a bit of an extreme example, and I'm not trying to get into that right now. I would say that there is. I would hit you with a soft degree on that one. I feel sympathy for those worse off than myself. Obviously, I make rash decisions. Yes, because I leave stuff to the last minute. I'm afraid of many things. I don't know what qualifies as many. Gnomes. Loneliness. Heights a little bit. I think with a neutral. I could probably go on quite a bit if you want to think about, like, if people say, oh, what things have you scared? What are your fears? People always go, oh, I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of spiders. Spiders. And I feel like there's stuff that you do that you can be afraid of that aren't like fears. So there's probably quite a big list. So I hit you with a neutral. I avoid coming into contact with people if I can help it. It depends on the person. For the most part, on a day-to-day, if I have errands to run or whatever, which is not something I do particularly often, on a day-to-day, I probably would prefer to go about my business with just kind of minimal interruption from other people. I love to daydream. We've had this question like 3 times. It's a plus plus. I trust what people say. I trust what some people say. I trust what less than 10 people say with my entire being. I don't trust with some people. It depends on the person. It's too contextual. It's too contextual. I'm trying to speed things up because we're only halfway through, so I'm trying to quick fire them. I can handle tasks. I handle tasks methodically. I frequently lose my temper. Nope. I prefer to be alone. Like 2 years ago, yeet. It's slowly come down. Now, again, I talked about this. Yes, I keep saying yesterday. Oh, because it was yesterday. Actually, I forgot. I'm uploading this on. I'm recording this on Tuesday. But I forgot that I'm uploading this tomorrow. So it was technically yesterday as I'm recording this. It just wasn't when it won't be when the video goes up. No, I would say that I am comfortable in my own company. I enjoy my own company. I definitely would prefer hanging out with friends. And again, sometimes you need to. Sometimes you just need to recharge, and sometimes you do want like a quiet night by yourself. So obviously it depends. Again. But there are definitely jokes in the Myers-Briggs ones about how, like, if I have a call with my friends, first of all, if someone's like, hey, do you want to have a hangout tonight, do you want to play some games, I'm absolutely yes 100% of the time. But then I also am like, we'll play for like whatever, a couple hours, 3 hours, four. Sometimes we play, our longest sessions have been like, many hours. But if we play for like 3 or 4 hours or whatever, however long it tends to get, depends when it is. But either way, no matter how long we play, when everyone's like, okay, we say goodnight, we all go to bed, we end the call, and then I sit there, and like 5 seconds later, I'm like, I miss them. I miss my friends. So I definitely would say I do not prefer to be alone most of the time. Although sometimes it's fine. I can be fine alone, but I definitely, if I had the choice right now of like, hey, tonight, do you want to be alone and do some editing and do some job applications and play some Genshin by yourself, or do you want to play some code names with your friends? I'm obviously picking my friends 10 times out of 10. I do not like poetry. That's not true. I don't seek it out very often. I'm not a big poetry guy. I mean, I'm a hip hop fan, so I guess in that sense, I'd hit you with a hard disagree. But as far as like traditional poems and poetry, no, I wouldn't say I dislike it. I don't really feel strongly either way about it. If you can throw hip hop as like a modern form of poetry in there, then it'd be a strong degree because I very much like it. I take advantage of... Nope. I always leave the place a mess. No, I try... Yeah. Try to clean up myself. I am often down in the dumps. Getting a little bit better. I take control of situations. Contextually, if I... Again, feel like this is just a different way of phrasing similar questions, which is nice because it's speeding it up a little bit. I rarely notice my emotional reactions and feelings. I notice them too much. I'm starting to hear like feedback in my ears. Am I just not drunk enough? I'm getting like static or like distortion, but like in my own ears. I'm indifferent to the feelings of others. No, of course not. Absolutely not. Hey, that'd be a fun sketch. The obviously I'm not there yet and may never be there, but hey, he's the therapist who doesn't care about people's feelings. I break rules. Not really. I don't know, man. What rules are there for me to break on any sort of... Like, there aren't really... Yeah, not really. I don't really have any reason to. I only really feel comfortable with friends. I would say... I'm going to hit you with a hard degree on that one. I can feel comfortable around acquaintances... I can feel comfortable around just about anyone if I need, for the most part. I can make myself comfortable in a situation. But there's like a level of comfort that I only feel around my friends. There's like a level of comfort, probably around the same sort of small handful of people that I'd say that I only like, that I really trust. It's probably the same people. There's that like complete comfort that I only feel around. I wouldn't even say friends. I wouldn't even say all friends. I'd say like my closest friends. So I guess to that degree, there's like that complete comfort, pure comfort for sure. I definitely can be comfortable around just about anyone, but I'd say wholehearted, complete comfort. Yeah, I'd say so. I do a lot in my spare time. Not really, because basically the past year has been spare time, and I feel like I haven't used it at all. I dislike changes. I can tell you that one for free. I insult people. I wish. I try not to because it's bad. I insult my my friends a lot. Like I rib my friends a lot, but it's always like kind of that's like a friendly thing. You know what I mean? Like I do it like I do it like in a friendly way, and I'm happy for them to do it back. But that's like a thing that I think most friends do. Like they make fun of their friends and stuff. For like, but never in like a serious. Okay, I don't want to say insult. I think insult carries a little bit of weight to it with like there's some intention to hurt feelings, which is literally I would never want to do that to anyone. So I'm just gonna hit you with a double negative on that one. I do just enough work. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Just gonna hit you with a plus on that one. I easily resist temptations. I'm definitely getting better at it. I'd say my spending habits for sure have gotten much better. Mostly because I've basically run out of money. That definitely is something that helps. But I'd say for the most part, yeah. I don't know. I'm not faced with many temptations, to be honest with you. So it's not like it's something that I really need to do. But I'd say it's getting. I'd say definitely the past year or two is something that's gotten better. I enjoy being reckless. I have difficulty. Am I still? You still see my face? You still see my face? I have difficulty understanding abstract ideas. Not really. I would say not really. I'd say it's almost the opposite because I feel like a lot of the time my brain almost outputs or creates mostly abstract ideas a lot of the time. Like the amount of times I'm trying to explain. I have difficulty conveying abstract ideas for sure. Or like translating them into kind of an understandable, consumable format sometimes to friends. I draw a lot of diagrams. I'm a visual learner, so a lot of the time I have to draw stuff out to understand it. So I would say that I do in that sense, but at the same time, a lot of it's like relatively straightforward things or relatively practical ideas that I need to visualize to understand. So I don't even know if it's always necessarily abstract ideas. Well, I'll hit you with a minor plus on that one. I'm going to hit you with a double minus on this one. I'm going to hit you with a strong plus plus on this one. I feel that I'm unable to deal with things. It really depends. So I'm just going to hit you with a neutral. I love life. Yeah. Yeah. Give it a soft plus on that one just because... Yeah. I tend to support political candidates who favour conventional and traditional views. Okay, so this is just the other way. I mean, based on my answer to the previous question, I should just do this, right? I should have just done neutral for both. I'm just gonna do that and move on. That's cool, right? Am I allowed to do that? That's fine, we can do that. I'm not interested in other people's problems. No, of course I am. Especially friends and stuff. I rush into things. Sometimes. I get stressed out easily. I feel like I've answered this question in a roundabout way, and I feel like we went with a similar mind. I keep others at a distance. I've got better at not, especially once I become comfortable with someone. I as I said, my filter goes, and I just kind of will speak. So I would say minor disagree. Absolutely true. I distrust people. It depends. I know how to get things done. I'm not easily annoyed. Agree. I avoid crowds for the most part. I do not enjoy art galleries or exhibitions. Dude, I do like going. I'm not gonna lie, and I can be cynical with art. Sometimes I go and I will look at stuff and just be like, what the hell am I even looking at? I do genuinely enjoy going to art galleries. I'm not gonna lie. I don't go as often as I would like. Maybe that's something that post COVID I may start doing a little bit more often. I don't mind it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind it. I am uncooperative and obstruct other people's plans. I hope not. I really hope not. Please, if like this ever happens, tell me. I leave my bits and pieces and belongings around. Again, mostly just situationally. I don't really have much of a... I feel comfortable with myself. Not really, man. I'm gonna be honest. He was neutral on that one. I don't really want to dwell on that one too much. I'm working. I'm getting there. but not really, man. I do wish that I... Never mind. It's okay, never mind. I wait for others to take the lead. I definitely used to, constantly. Nowadays, again, if I have to, I will. I play the field. It depends on the situation. I don't understand people who get emotional. Obviously, because I do, because I do myself. I don't have time for other people. I mean, that's just a lie. Especially, again, someone I care about, I have all the time in the world. And if I don't have the time, I will force it. I will find it. I will make it. I break my promises. No, we've already had I keep promises. I am not bothered by... And this makes sense, by the way. This is a very normal thing in a quiz like this. I didn't realise they were doing it, or I didn't realise they were going to do it until I sort of saw it happening. But it's a very normal thing to do on quizzes like this, to have a statement and then to basically have the inverse of the same statement and see if you correlate. I'm not bothered by difficult social situations. Define difficult? Not anymore. Used to be hell. I'm much better now. I like to take it easy. I wish I was a little bit less enthusiastic about the double plus plus on this one, but I am attached to conventional ways. I'm attached to my own conventional ways in terms of, like, once I have something that's conventional to me, I don't like to change that routine or whatever. But I wouldn't necessarily say... it really depends on whatever. I don't really know what that applies to, so I'm just going to hit a neutral. I always even the score with others. No. I put little time and effort into my work. I even mild disagree. I am able to control my cravings. I'd say so. I would love KFC tonight. I'm not going to get it, though. I was going to hit you with a single plus on that one. Very brave, I know. I'm so brave. I act zany and outrageously. I feel like that's a pretty safe double plus plus. Just scroll through this channel a little bit. I am not interested in theoretical discussions. I boast about my virtues. I try not to boast about anything. I don't think it's a good trait. So I'm going to try and hit you with a single plus. Sometimes it just happens, and I try not to. I have difficulty starting tasks for sure. I remain calm under pressure. I'm just gonna. I can't even remember what I answered to this one the 5 other times we had this question. So we'll just hit you with a single plus. I look at the bright side of life. I try very hard. Do I always look at the bright side of life? Drunk, dunk, 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 dunk. Dunk, dunky, 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 dunk. Dunk, dunk. Thank you, that was Mifa's theme. I try to do it for other people more than for myself, I think. I always will try with friends and family to put the positive situation, or to like, hey, look at the bright side, look at the positive thing. At least this is a thing, or oh no, this is like I try my best for other people to always be the optimistic one, or to try and make them see the positive situation or the positive out of any situation, or the bright side of things. So for that, I would put the plus. For myself, I could probably do a little bit better. For myself, I could probably do a little bit harder. For myself, I think I'm quite a pessimistic person. For other people, I always try. I think I need to just learn how to try and apply that to myself a little bit better. So I won't go plus plus. For other people, I'd say plus plus, but for myself, I'll bring it to a single plus. I believe that we should be very tough on crime. Obviously, it depends on the crime. There's a lot of stuff we should be tougher on. But there's also a lot of stuff that the focus is a little bit skewed, I'm going to be honest. So I'm just going to hit with a neutral on that one. I try not to think about the needy. That's a bit of a weird one, so I'm just going to disagree. I act without thinking. Again, we've already had this exact phrase, except with the spontaneity thing. So now I feel like I should go back and reassess my answer to that one based on the spontaneous aspect. But this by itself, yes, just because that's how my brain works. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, I am a male. My age is just the shy end of 21. Dude, I was thinking about last night. I can't believe I'm nearly 22. That's mad. I am from United Kingdom. My education level. PhD. No, that's... I wish. Oh, this is interesting. Primary school, high school. What? You don't get primary school in America, right? But you don't get high school in England or Canada. So what is this? This is a really weird way to format this. Because in America, college is what university is to us, right? What's university? I'm just going to put university because that's what I went to and have a degree. And college here... I mean, we'd call it secondary. So is this a British website then? Because this is technically how it goes. Primary school, then high school, then college, then university. That's literally... We call it secondary school, but that's how it goes. So I guess in that sense, I don't know how an American would view this, but in England it goes primary school, then secondary school / high school, then college, then university. So I guess, yeah, whatever. You are taking this test, NA, purely for fun, insight, to explore for development, to know what's blah blah blah. To prepare for a job application procedure. That's an interesting one. As part of an assessment or job application procedure. Just getting insight, I guess. What is your current employment status? I hate that I can't get away with putting this anymore. Pass. Okay, so what does this give me here? And what is it going to be like? Hey, now you've got to buy. Okay, this is a little bit interesting. We've got some visuals going on here. And we're probably going to be about the same length as the Myers-Briggs one if I go slow. If I go quick on this. Right. Hide facets. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, dude, you get a lot. Artistic interest, depth of emotions, willingness. You get a lot of the pro version. Interesting. Conscientiousness 4. Ouch. Openness to experience 51. That surprises me a little bit. This is a bit of an oof. Extroversion 30. Agreeableness 91. That's nice. Natural reactions 57. It's ocean. I had no idea this was a big 5. I've been doing a big 5 personality quiz this whole time. Natural reactions? Is that what the N stands for? That doesn't feel right. Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness. I swear it doesn't stand for natural reactions. Ocean, what does the N stand for? Big 5. Ocean. Neuroticism. I thought it did. It doesn't stand for natural reactions. Okay, well... Unless that's just like another way of... Unless they still mean it to be the same thing. I'm glad my agreeable on this is up, though. Okay, openness to experience. Traditionalist. Describing a low-range scoring person. Describing a high-range scoring person. So I'm neither. I'm right in the middle. So I'm somewhere between traditional and non-traditional. I'm somewhere between down-to-earth and conceptual. I'm somewhere between... technical and creative problem solve. Dude, okay, so that doesn't do much for me. Conscientiousness. Okay, so definitely we're gonna go on the low range here. So I'm apparently spontaneous, which is interesting because I'm sure on the Myers-Briggs it asked me if I was spontaneous and I said no. Disorganized, I would agree with. Prefers flexible plans. Dislikes precise details. I mostly disagree with all of this. To be honest, as far as being like a very routine-oriented individual, I'd probably... but although I'm definitely not well-organised, I'm not very detail-oriented either, so I guess, yeah, dislikes precise details. Disciplined, I don't think I'm overly disciplined, so I think I'm maybe more in the middle here. Extroversion, okay, so closer, so we're on the low, so closer to reserved, formal, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm formal. Serious, I wouldn't say I'm particularly serious. Quiet, I wouldn't say I'm overly quiet. Prefers working alone, avoids direct leadership roles. I like to think I'm outgoing and friendly, and a relatively affable individual. I wouldn't say assertive. I do like working with others. I do enjoy leadership roles. Hey, so if I have to fill out a big 5 thing for a job, I'm definitely gonna not put the answers I put today. Although it's pretty easy to do whatever you got to do on a big 5. Okay, they have it. Neuroticism. So did they just change this for like general consumption access? So N, we're just going with neuroticism then. Hard head. So I'm on the high. I'm on the very high end of agreeableness. Compassionate. Okay, for sure. Eager to please. Yes. I definitely am. For people whose opinions are important to me, I've talked about this. I definitely want to. I definitely want to, get the I seek their approval, and I want them to be proud of me, and so I guess so, like my family members and close friends, and as far as people who may see this, obviously Josh and Jacob and Maria especially are all people who I'm always eager to, I guess I would say eager to please, and always and want to make them proud and want their approval and stuff. I definitely would say so. That eager to please makes sense. Good natured prefers cooperation over competition and conflict. Absolutely true. And compassionate. So I'm happy with the agreeableness score. I'll say that much. Neuroticism, somewhere in the middle. Experiences negative emotional reactions and feelings of anxiety, prone to worry. I wouldn't say easily upset, but sure, some of these for sure. But also not easily upset. So I can see why, and relaxed and calm. And I see why I ended up somewhere in the middle on this one. Understanding the scores. So okay, so that's just where it's put us in our percentiles and stuff here. The strongest personality factor, the factor test score furthest away from 50, above or below, indicates the person's strongest personality trait. So my strongest personality trait is that I am not conscientious. Don't know if I agree with that. So I guess that's that. So I wouldn't necessarily say that was the most accurate. And definitely based on this, I would not be paying the $20 to get the more detailed breakdown of what I didn't necessarily agree with. So that one, I've got to say, I already wanted this video more to be something of a platform for me to have a chat. Right? Can I remember the scene? It's the one called Scene. I definitely would say this was more of a platform for the chat and for the conversational aspect, and for just like a nice little video rather than the results there. Although to be fair, the Myers-Briggs one was supposed to be kind of a bit of like tongue-in-cheek, a bit light-hearted, a bit more, it wasn't a joke, but a bit more casual, and that one I would say actually gave some genuinely useful insight or some at least noteworthy insight. This one definitely was more of a platform to just have a bit of a conversation. That said, I guess I just end this because I don't know. It was an interesting one. I guess I say the same thing that I said after the Myers-Briggs video. I appreciate anyone who has watched this video and is sort of because it was a long one for one, and is sort of indulged in allowing me to just do something like this. It was interesting for me. To just sort of, it was interesting for myself, and it will be interesting, and I think I talked about this in the Myers-Briggs videos, how I think it would be fun to watch these videos back, or to look back on these videos, potentially a few years from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now, and just be like, hey, this is what I was like back then. Would I answer these questions any differently? Am I a different person then than I am now? Hopefully, in some areas for sure. That said, I guess I will wrap this here. Thank you for joining me. The link will be in the description, although I don't necessarily recommend doing this one. I am curious to see other people's Myers-Briggs, I guess. Or I don't know. Really. The link will be in the description if you want to do it. That said, hopefully later in the week. I don't know if it will be tomorrow. It depends on if I get the chance to record. It's Tuesday now. It depends on if I get the chance to record in the next couple of days. So if the America quizzes don't come out tomorrow, they are still coming. They may just be bumped back a day or two. But hopefully, in the next day or two, I'll be doing the America quizzes, labeling the states, naming the states, labeling the state capitals, state flags, etc., etc. And then hopefully whenever the next day after that is, we'll do the gauntlet. And we'll see where that goes. Other than that, thank you for joining me if you did, and thank you for just allowing me to do something like this. I thought it'd be fun. I'm glad that I had the chance to do this now. While I have a little bit of time before, hopefully in the near future, I have no time. Hopefully, if things finally happen, which hopefully hopefully. As I said, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all, and I will see you all in another video. Probably, at some point, I would imagine. Alright. Later, guys. Have a nice Wednesday. Have a nice Thursday if I don't see you tomorrow. I have a chess video recorded that I haven't uploaded yet, so I guess if I can't record and I miss Thursday, I'll just chuck a chess video up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all later, guys. Later. Bonk. And now I hit stop record.